Hi everyone, Agnes here. I am with Amy. Hello, Amy.
Hi.
Thanks for coming. We're going to have a little discussion. We thought we would talk about the holiday season. It is a fast approaching the end of the year, the beginning of the new year, and many of you have spoken to Amy and I over the course of the years that we've been coaching about this time of the year and how it affects you mentally and emotionally. And we thought we would have a discussion about how to navigate our way through this in perhaps a more self loving way to take the focus off what you haven't got and put your focus on what is working and what you have got. So, Amy, what are your thoughts about this? Because you're hearing this a lot, like I am. What do you find is soothing and helpful?
Well, I've been through this as well as clients have. So I know that the idea of spending Christmas, the holiday season, when you are trying to manifest somebody is, it can have a real impact on you. And you do start thinking things like, oh my gosh, my Christmas is going to be rubbish this year. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be heartbroken over this time of year. I really wanted to spend this special time with this person. And as I said to you before the call, actually, it always used to end up that, I mean, anyone who knows my story knows that I was very on and off with my person. And it used to be October, a big argument would happen or a conflict would happen, and that's it. It'd be ended. And I always used to go through the same cycle of, oh my gosh, this is going to be rubbish without it. But what I did to actually get through that was actually starting to reframe things because, in fact, there's a lot more people in my life than SP. Yeah, I get to spend the day with my family. I get to spend time with people that are important to me and who care about me. I did tons of gratitude journaling as well. So, what I essentially did was let go of the idea that he had that power to make this time of year good or bad.
Yeah.
And each time that this would happen, that is exactly what I'd go to. And I'd go all out as well. I'd really, for example, I'd really decorate the house special. I would make sure that my self-love was on top. I would make sure that I've made time for myself. I made sure that I um, really appreciated the time of year and what came along with the time of year. And I'd still managed to get myself in the mood for it. And then bam, he'd come back before Christmas. Now, I'm not saying obviously that's going to happen for everybody, but the message, I suppose, is to really let go of the idea that this time of year is going to be a struggle or it's going to be horrible or it's going to be bad and it's just going to not be worth going through. We need to sort of try and reframe that because actually this person isn't going to make you feel happy or fulfilled unless you already are happy and fulfilled. And like I
Yes.
say, the way that I did that is I did a lot of gratitude journaling. I did a lot of appreciation. I'd list things that I'm grateful for right now. And I'd list the ways that my Christmas is going to be perfect anyway. And that's really how I survived it. But saying that, and like I say, this has happened numerous times over the years. Having said that, I do understand how that initial, oh, this time of year is going to be really, really challenging. And it's okay that that it feels like it's going to be challenging. You can handle it, but make sure that you're not completely focused on what you don't have. So that would be my advice.
Mhm. Yes, I agree. It's like you've just described the glass half full rather than glass half empty. You look at what's there, and the more you go into appreciation and gratitude, it brings more things that, well, like you were saying to me, we may have split up, but he would always come back before Christmas. So I never actually had to endure the Christmas on my own. But it's like you made the state change. You change from unloved, unwanted, rejected, not a priority, to, you know what, I'm going to make myself a priority. I'm going to make everything around me beautiful. I'm going to water and fertilize what's there. And I think when you do that, you have a much better success rate with things working out. But you can't do it for that reason. You got to do it just literally because it is the right thing to do, especially if you've got kids. You know, you want to make Christmas or the holidays fun for them. So it's putting your focus on making it good for someone else too and yourself. But it's so easy to look at what I haven't got, haven't got, haven't got, haven't got. And when you're in that energy, you cannot capture, well, you can't get to where you want to go because you can't capture the state. So the state change, the emotional change, the mental change, give yourself something else to do. And I agree with you. I think gratitude, keep looking at what's working, keep looking at what's really, really good in your life. And I remember Esther Hicks saying years ago, if you've got 10 things going wrong, no, you've got 10 things, one thing's working and 9 things are going wrong. You focus on that one thing that's going right, that will turn the tide. And I remember thinking, wow, how could that be? Because the odds are against you. But now I understand, because it's an emotional world. What you're doing is emotionally impacting what you see in your surroundings. So make it as rich as you can, make it as loving as you can. Also, I think coming out of yourself and saying, how can I make perhaps someone else's Christmas good? It might be my neighbor who's elderly. It might be, you know, my boss whose wife's just died, or, you know, in the last 3 months. Look at people around you that are worse off than you and see if you can bring a bit of joy to those people. And I think that really pulls you out of yourself. I think that's really helpful, because you can get so fixated on what you haven't got and how lonely you feel. And that is not a plant you want to water. It's not a plant you want to grow. It really, water the plant of joy, of love, of giving, of understanding that Christmas really is about love and sharing, and to see where you can be that and do that. I think that's a good way to go.
Exactly. And I can remember one of these Christmases in particular where he did text me at sort of the beginning of to the middle of December. I was like, oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm sorry, I've made all yeah, I'm really busy.
Yeah.
And that was a really nice place to be in, because actually it didn't matter anymore. It didn't matter
Mm.
because I knew that my Christmas was going to be fantastic
Yeah.
anyway. And I'd really dove into, like you say, self-love practices. I bought myself Christmas presents as
Mm.
well, and made sure I'd really gone to town on me. And obviously I've got people who know me know that I've got a young child as well, so that was really good. We got the you know, we treated ourselves, and that was something to look forward to. I'm
Mm.
quite close to my parents as well, so we were going to have an amazing one no matter what.
Yeah.
But when, you know, especially if it's sort of just happened, if a breakup's just happened, it
Mm.
can be, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You can at least find something to make yourself feel just a little bit better, just a little
Yes.
bit, and then move the needle.
Yeah.
And before you
Yes.
know it, you're going to look forward to it.
That's right. Especially if you've got your favorite food around, you got your favorite people and your favorite food, and it's just, you know, a time where you can, hopefully, not everybody can, but stop working, sleep in, take a break, watch a movie, go for a walk, do those things that really help you improve your self love and your feeling good within you. I think those days, which are really usually catching up with loved ones and being disconnected from your usual things, depending on what industry you're in. Some industries really ramp up over Christmas. I remember that years ago, that, you know, I couldn't do these things at Christmas because I was so engrossed in the retail industry, which is just, or hospitality, which was so fixated on extra hours, extra work, lack of sleep, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So if you are in those industries, we send you our love because it isn't easy, but there's always time after work. There's always time to regroup and remind the people that have been there for you and that have been a great support in your lifetime. Remind them how much they mean to you and how much you appreciate them, because I think it's easy to forget that sometimes during the year.
Oh no, absolutely. And if it is that you're fortunate enough to have a few days off over Christmas, make sure that you're just doing at least 5 things a day that you really, really enjoy.
Mm.
So that might be going for a walk. That might be having a really long bath. That might
Yeah.
be making yourself a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And start showing yourself that you're the priority. Start
Yeah.
showing yourself that you matter. And every time your mind wanders to that person, remind yourself, actually, it's not about this person, it's about me. I'm going to prioritize me.
Mm.
So every time your mind, goes on a tangent, or you're checking the phone to see if they've texted you, that's just an invitation for you to think, oh, okay, more self-love today then.
Mm.
And it's about understanding that every time you're doing that, you're prioritizing them,
Yeah.
not you.
Yes.
And so that's really important, I think. And the more you do that, it doesn't take very long to break those cycles and patterns, to stop checking and stop thinking, because, the more we intercept a thought process or a pattern, the easier it is to sort of let that pattern go.
Mm. Yes. I like your 5 things a day. I think it's good because it doesn't have to be, you think, oh, 5 things, but it's like, no, it can just be a cup of tea. It can be that you lay down for 20 minutes, 30 minutes and do a meditation or have a bath or, you know, I mean, I love baking sometimes in the afternoon. Like if I'm not working, I think, oh, let me make some nice banana muffins or, and then they can just go in the freezer and then you can pull them out one at a time and eat them, at random moments. And it's like, or baking for other people. I know there's people that I love that I know that they don't cook, they're not interested. So it's like, well, if that's something that you love to do, doing it for someone else that doesn't like it, that means the world to them because they can't be bothered or they'd rather just buy something ready made or whatever. There's a lot of people that don't like to cook. So those little acts of kindness, I think, pockets of joy, acts of kindness, and doing those things for others that really, they don't take much time. They really don't. A batch of muffins takes 12 minutes. It really is quite quick. So, yeah, doing things for mental health, doing things for your emotional health, and doing things to have a better holiday. I mean, I really noticed years ago, as soon as it hit the 1st of December, it's like the speed of things would just woof, and people get more impatient. It's like there's a lack of time, a lack of money, and a lack of love. That it's like people are operating from either one of those, two of those, or all three. And I remember thinking, I want to step off that and I want to make sure I'm out there less in December because there's a lot of weird energy, especially with, well, I mean, some people have got kids they want to buy stuff for and they don't have the money and all that's really stressful. So, I mean, we grew up, well, we didn't have a lot of money. And I know my parents went through that. So it's like, when you know that the energy is like that out there and you don't have to be in it. I mean, sometimes you have to travel to work and back or whatever, but the rest of your time, it's like, let me spend more time at home or with friends that live close by or with family. And leading up to Christmas, let's make December good. Let's make it that we slow down, not speed up action figure mode, because you get to Christmas Day and you're white as a ghost and you look ragged. And
Yeah,
that's
and you
not,
can't wait for it to be over.
you can't wait for it to be over. Yeah, it's so true. Christmas Day, Boxing Day, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day.
And I
These are
think
moments.
you've touched on a really good point, actually, because what I've noticed and what I did myself was that because I sort of thought Christmas is this huge event. It puts time pressure
Mm,
on that this needs to happen
yeah.
for Christmas. I need to have this happen for Christmas. And that then takes you out of the state of having it already.
Yes.
Because I've noticed anytime I put a time pressure on anything, if I put a deadline on anything, that's, it's just frustration, desperation, and thinking
Yeah.
it has to be done by this date. Try
Yeah.
if you can to take Christmas out of the equation if you can and
Yeah.
focus on having it
Yeah.
rather than this needs to happen before Christmas and
Yes.
oh, I need to get there, I need to visualize more, I need to affirm more, I need
Yeah.
to do more
Yeah.
meditating. And like you say, slow down, enjoy the time for what it is,
Mm.
and really try to make it so that this time pressure isn't
Mm.
there, because
Yes.
you'll get, like you said, December goes so quick,
Yes.
and the pressure that you're putting yourself under,
Yeah.
and you're just going to feel more and more and more lack.
Yes. And you get, I mean, what I notice is people with dark circles under their eyes and they look gray and they're wiped out, because they're trying to do everything. I mean, I do know a lot of companies and employers and things. This needs to be done before the holidays. This needs to be done before Christmas. So you got that work pressure. But if you can minimize it when you're outside of work and say, okay, this is my time. How can I surrender more, let go more? Yes, I've got my little to-do list, but I don't need to achieve everything in the next 2 weeks. And it's that being prepared too. If you organize things slowly, the turtle way, the rabbit doesn't have to kick in on the 20th of December because you haven't got stuff done. The more you're organized, the more you do things slowly, the less pressure there is on the holidays. I think slow and steady little things really break down a lot of jobs into small pieces, and then you can be more at peace and relaxed, and then you can do it with love, whatever it is, the shopping, the cooking, the buying the gifts, whatever it is you got to do, you can do it with more of a sense of connectedness to, I don't need to just plow through this and get to the 1st of January, because that doesn't feel good. And like you were saying, I just got to get this over with. It's not meant to be like that. It's meant to be enjoyable. And whether you do things alone or whether you do things with a huge family, there's people that do things, there's all different levels of how many people are around you at Christmas, and whatever you're doing, it's bringing the best of you, the most loving part of you, the most rested part of you, the happiest part of you, the unconditional loving part of you. That's what Christmas is really about. It's bringing those things that you can't see towards all those days during the holidays. So that's it. Anything else, Amy? Did anything else come to mind?
No, aside from I want to wish everybody a really nice Christmas.
Yeah.
If I do, yeah, and make sure it's for you. Make
Yeah.
sure you're doing things that you like to do, and
Yeah.
just try and take your attention off what's not there.
Yeah.
Even if it's just for the next few weeks, just take the attention
Yeah.
off what's not there.
Mm, yeah, I agree. So I too would like to wish you happy holidays. If you celebrate Christmas, enjoy, enjoy your loved ones, enjoy the children, enjoy being. This is one of the times you can really practice being in a state of love and making it radiate out, especially because there's a lot of people that are not in that state at this time. It's like you can bring that to the spaces, to the people, to the family, to the friends, to the gatherings, to church, to wherever you're going. Bring that with you. That is something I think to aspire to, is really checking in with how am I doing mentally and emotionally, and bringing the best of me forward, so that it's sharing love. Because at the end of the day, this is one of the greatest times of the year to remind yourself to do it, and to know that you can, because you've been doing your meditations and your affirmations during the year. So bring it out. Bring it out. Well, I think that's it. Have you got anything more? We were going to talk about this topic, but it's like it's quite a small bullseye.
Hmm.
Mm,
No, I think we've covered everything.
yeah. Me too. I know I've done some holiday time videos in the past. Amy, if you've got any, let me know and I'll put them in the description down below and we can, just revisit some things that have really helped and worked to give people relief and help people along this next really 5 weeks that are coming. All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Amy, you want to say goodbye to everybody before we go?
Yes. Bye, everybody, and have a wonderful holidays.
Yeah, me too, everybody. Happy Christmas, happy holidays. And we will be seeing you, well, on both our channels in December, but also into the new year, 2025. Let's make it the best year yet. Lots of love.